the table down.
Now they can hear you.
Hey, guys. Oh, my voice sounds so weird.
Welcome to the Fenimores Live.
Live with the Fenimores.
Same difference.
Right out of the gate.
Same difference.
Hey, guys. Good to see you.
In the evening.
Allison, congratulations on getting engaged. I promised that I wouldn't talk all day because we had this show tonight and I was losing my voice. And then one of my best friends in the world, Allison, got engaged and let us know today. And so, Allison, I saw you join just now. Congratulations. And yeah, I don't have a voice, but it was worth it because I freaked out in the car.
So this morning, Trisha comes out of the bedroom and she's like, actually, no, before that, you texted me. You said, look, I have to save my voice for tonight. I'm not going to be talking to you at all today. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
I'm not like a diva.
This isn't
I'm genuinely losing my voice.
And I'm not going to be like some TV sitcom husband where like, wow, this is going to be a rough day, guys. No, I was like, all right.
Where was this for all these years?
We'll figure it out. We'll work through this today. We'll get into the fact that she then started to mime things for like a good half hour this morning.
For the record, a missed calling on my case, if I may.
You're going to need some schooling.
Unless I'm the teacher. Because
it was horrendous, guys. It was awful. It was downright awful.
I was.
This is our numbers are plummeting already. Anyway,
that doesn't do it. That's not what.
So she was excellent about not using her voice to get it ready for tonight,
and
so she could be here for you fine people, right? Boom. She gets in the car. She starts driving. I get a picture of her dear friend Allison letting her know she got engaged. I'm like, this poor girl. She probably wanted to scream at the top of her lungs. She wants to call and start yelling people. And yeah, no, that was awful. Oh, that's good.
We're hanging by a thread here, guys, with my voice, but here we are.
For those of you on chat on Stream Elements, I never changed our info for the auto messages.
Oh, no.
So Holy Matrimony, don't even worry about. And,
that was our former marriage podcast.
Yeah.
You can go check it out.
Yeah,
it's on our YouTube.
Yeah, that's our.
It's called Holy Matrimony, and it was a marriage podcast, a faith-based marriage podcast, which is an incredible name.
But my handles are wrong. My handles are wrong.
This is a disaster right out of the gate, guys. I'll tell you what.
There you go. So now you know. All right. So yeah. So she was pretty good about keeping her voice nice and calm and relaxed. So
I have to lean forward. So he's gonna eventually stream my Instagram live. You guys, right there, right, talking straight to Instagram right now. He's gonna eventually stream it up top so I can see your comments. But unfortunately, even with contacts, I can't read without really leaning forward. But I want you guys to comment because I will be leaning forward here every once in a while and checking in. Love to hear where you guys are phoning in from. You got to carry me here because my voice, what is happening? Not today, devil.
The good news is most of these people already follow you, so they know this isn't what you normally sound like. So they know
some rogue person just tuned in and they're like, why is she about to cry?
They actually believe that you don't sound like this, but there are a few people who are like, she's a liar. This is what she always sounds like.
That would. I woke up, and we're not a political show, guys. We're not talking about politics, but I woke up, and I turned to Jimmy, and when I came out of the bedroom in the kitchen, I turned to him, and I go, I feel like this might be what RFK feels like every day. Just like a struggle to talk without your voice, like continually doing things that you don't want it to do. And that's about as political as we're going to get. Wait, I take that back. There's one more political thing. It's not political. Don't worry. Don't DM me yet. Can I just say the tweet that went out today that said, do not retaliate and you will be rewarded? I am going to quote that next time we are in a disagreement so fast. I'm going to text it to you in all caps, just like the tweet went out. Do not retaliate and you will be rewarded. Can you imagine if married couples everywhere just started texting
Are you saying that President Trump should become like a marriage counselor?
No, but like, wouldn't that be funny if it was like you took anything he said or like any, like wild thing that was said and you contextualize it in either like your friendships or like planning a family event and like, you're like, we're going to Lake Como this year or like Lake Erie or I don't know, where is Lake Como? Is it
Italy,
Como?
and it's Como.
Who's okay? So I'm not a world traveler,
I am.
but I did used to live in New York, and so I remember.
And you married an Italian.
Is it Governor Cuomo, or he was mayor?
There was a governor. There was two actually. There were
Was
two
he a
Governor
mayor
Cuomos.
ever?
No, he's running for mayor right now.
Oh.
As she said, not a political show, guys.
Not a political show, obviously. All right, so let's talk about Lake Erie then. Like, you're planning like a family trip to like Lake Erie or like the Poconos or something.
I'm good.
Hey, easy, Midwest.
New York.
Well, all right,
Lake
look,
Erie.
you're planning a family trip to somewhere, and everybody on the group chat start getting a little spicy with their opinions. All of a sudden, you send your opinion in all, like, just a period, like, we're doing this for 3 days, and everyone's gonna like it. And then in all caps, do not retaliate, and you will be rewarded. I mean, it's like the ultimate tension breaker. I feel like we're improving relationships here through the art of humor.
The first person that comes to the negotiating table will get the best deal.
You'll get the best room at the lake house.
And the last person will get the worst deal.
And the last person doesn't get to pick which restaurant we go to at all.
We're going anywhere that you have a food allergy. That's how we're planning this vacation. Actually, that would be a great way to plan bachelorette parties. I've heard those are a nightmare. Allison, just so you know, get ready. These are some good pointers.
For planning what?
Like a bachelorette weekend. Like I heard those are like herding cats. You need like a tyrant at the top of that thing.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of experience with that.
Dawn says you should eat potato chips. The salt and grease in the chips will coat your throat.
Bless, I need something. I took our oldest son to Chick-fil-A tonight, which is not an ad. Nobody's paying me. I sure wish they were, though. But the chicken nuggets didn't do it, I'll tell you that. I tried chicken nuggets and their barbecue sauce sure didn't coat my throat.
All right, so what else is on your list there that you'd like to discuss tonight? I could only imagine. I didn't even see this list. I was worried about...
I just made a potential list of topics we could discuss. You guys are more than welcome to weigh in. Instagram, I'm going to lean in so I can see you guys. On the topic of Lake Como and the Midwest and New York. Oh my gosh, my voice it's RFK over here. This must be, he must be so unhappy. Okay, anyway, regional and cultural habits and sayings. Is there anything that you feel so inspired to share on that?
I mean, a lot of them are going to come out naturally with the way this conversation's going. If you forget about it, what are you doing to me here? A lot of this.
Why don't you tell people who are just tuning in for the first time, like, where you're from?
I'm from New York.
How about I interview him, guys?
No. At least you're not going to mind the interview. No. There are some people that are just listening. You know that, right?
It'll be relaxing. It'll spur the intrigue. If I were interviewing you, James, tell us a little bit about your upbringing. Where'd you come from? What made you the way you are? That last one I'm really interested in.
Yeah. No. I'm from New York. I grew up on Long Island, right outside New York City. And it was exciting times. It was in the 90s. It was still a little dangerous, but still also safe enough to go in and hang out.
Cite for both our older viewers who remember dangerous New York and our younger viewers who remember nowadays dangerous New York, but not that there was a previous phase of dangerous New York. When you say dangerous in the 90s, James, what does that entail for you?
Ridiculous.
Guys, when I was growing up, one of my favorite shows was 2020. I'm living a dream right now. I've never gotten to interview anybody. I feel like I'm crushing it.
All right. So pre-90s.
And so modest.
So I'll give everybody a quick New York lesson. So pre-90s, anybody that walked around New York used to do something, and they used to carry something, and it was called mugger money. You would have your money, and you would have your mugger money. The mugger money was in case you got mugged. So...
And what does that mean?
If somebody came up and mugged you, like a group
Trying
of guys...
to get your money?
It was like, give me your money. Half the time they didn't even have a weapon. It would just be like 3 or 4 guys come up to you, but give me your money.
Oh, yeah, you're outnumbered, though.
Yeah, they're just going to throw you a beating if you don't give them your money. So you would have your mugger money. So you would just say, okay, here it is. And you would just give them like a $20
bill. Here's like
$22. Yeah, and then you would have your real money
60 in your wallet.
Stashed away somewhere.
That was back in the days when people still carried cash for our younger listeners.
Yeah, so there was that.
I have to interrupt you. At Chick-fil-A tonight, the chip card reader wasn't working. I had to swipe the card. I mean, You want to talk about nostalgia. When was the last time you swiped your card? Anyway, go on, James. We're all dying to hear.
So the 90s, that kind of stopped. There was no more need for mugger money.
Okay.
But then you had Times Square, which now you think of Times Square and you think of like people dressed up as superheroes. Like the most,
Elmo.
The most dramatic thing happening.
But really kind of grimy Elmo.
Well, everything's a little grimy. But the most dramatic thing happening in Times Square is like two Spider-Man show up and they get in a fight because...
Or they act out that meme.
No, they don't do that.
It'd be a lot cooler if they did.
They get in a fight.
I should have done that in a Matthew McConaughey voice, even though I never saw that movie.
This is my territory. That's the say. It's like the heads of the five
When
families.
I woke up and didn't have a voice, I thought it was the devil. Now I'm starting to think it might have been God and being like, you need to dial it back. You're too excited.
I'm surprised you're not accusing me of maybe like slipping you something.
Okay.
Trying to back you down a little bit.
Okay, so go on, James.
So
tell us more.
So that's what Times Square is like today. The 90s was like a mixture of the two. It started to get a little bit like you get like a bubblegum shrimp company in there.
So like Elmo would mug you.
No, like Times Square was a very dangerous place before the 90s. Like there was no tourist Times Square.
I once watched a documentary about a serial killer in Manhattan.
One?
In Times Square.
One. Well, there's many.
What was the town? No, Fear City. That's what it used to be called. New York City used to be called Fear City.
Yeah.
I'm like,
nobody from New York called it that. People from Midwest Ohio that vacation to Lake Erie called it that. New Yorkers called it New York. I'm going to work. Okay. That's what we called it.
All right, so Elmo's mugging you in the 90s because it's a merge.
No, he's not mugging you. It's just in the 90s what you would do is you would go there, you'd go get lunch at Bubblegum Shrimp Company as a 16-year-old kid, and then you go get a fake ID down a dark alleyway. So it was like you got to do both. You got to live a little dangerously, and you also got to like get a tourist hat. I love New York T-shirt. Yeah. So it was nice.
Okay.
A little dangerous, but also a little fun.
Now, did you go into the city and go to dance clubs? I literally feel like I'm RFK conducting this interview. And what's your vaccine status? No, I'm just kidding. Guys, it's not a political show. So anyway, tell us a little bit about...
It's none of your business. That's what
Okay, tell us a little bit about, did you go to the city by yourself as a kid? Like, was there ever like that Kevin McAllister moment in Home Alone 2?
As a 10-year-old, no, I never went to New York City by myself. Unfortunately, that would have been fun. As like a 15-year-old, yes, I did.
By yourself?
It was like friends, yeah.
With like, other children?
Got on like 15.
How many children?
Like
those are children. How many children?
Like 14. Like 2 or 3.
2 other children with you, and that's it?
Well, like the Long Island Railroad went straight to Madison Square Garden. That's where the Rangers would play, the Knicks would play. So
eventually. But ching. I lived on Long Island for 5 years, so I'm allowed to make that joke. That was a good joke. You know that was a good joke. Somewhere out there's a New Yorker who heard that joke and actually appreciated it. It's not this New Yorker right here. I can tell you that right now. That's why he's going back and forth. But somewhere, a New Yorker just appreciated that. This
is ridiculous. Anyway, so that's it. So yeah, when I was a kid, I used to hang out in the city a lot. Not a lot. Enough to, live dangerously.
Okay.
It was fun. Yeah.
On an unrelated note.
I mean, the city's a grid. It's not hard to get around. Numbers go up, numbers go down. It's easy to get around,
Well, you have to know that it's a grid. Many people don't know that it's a grid.
Yeah, people that aren't from the city.
Well, that should be like on flyers.
It is. They have maps on the subway. It's very easy to figure out.
Now, that's true.
Yeah.
I grew up in the rural Midwest in a little farm town. Where going to the football games on Friday nights was like the coolest thing in the world. That was like our big town activity. I played in the woods a lot, so definitely different than the concrete jungle. I don't know. I can't stop myself. I don't know why this happens.
I'm going to shut it all.
I don't know why this happens. I don't do this on my normal videos.
I'm going to shut it all down.
So we played in the woods, me and my friends, and that was a lot of fun. And one time we came across an encampment. Well, it was really just one person, I think, living there, but somebody was definitely living there. So that was concerning, but nothing happened. I made it out of there alive.
Is cow tipping a thing? Or is that just like a myth?
I think it's sort of a myth, but I also would hear of like kids from neighboring schools doing it.
That sounds like a myth, though.
Yeah.
I hear kids from neighboring schools doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I would
feels
say
like a myth.
I would say the most cliche thing that my friends and I did growing up, like in high school, was we'd go to Walmart on the weekends.
And just walk around?
Yeah.
Like try on clothes?
No.
What do you do at Walmart? Like, what do you do?
Everything but try on. Why would trying on clothes
I
be
don't know.
exciting?
I don't know. Like, do like a little fashion show.
No, you go and you look at like the weird stuff they have. You make a mess. You get asked to leave. You like act like you're leaving, and then you sneak down another
Watch out
aisle.
for this guy.
And then you find like the giant bouncy balls, and you start like rattling the cage to get them out. And then eventually you get asked to leave, and then you go hang out in the parking lot.
Wow.
Excuse me. No. Don't wow that. That's amazing. That is some of the most wholesome stuff that you will ever hear in your life. And there's actually a country song.
Robbie, we got to talk.
I think yeah, Robbie, where are you from? Tell us. We need to know where cow tipping is absolutely a real thing. Because I think it is too. I just didn't know anybody who did it personally. Although I think now that I think about it, I remember one name, but that was always like a mischievous name in our town. So who knows if that was just the lore. I didn't say the name. I don't name names, all right? I've learned a few things. No, there's like a country song that I think called Walmart Parking Lot or something. Like, it's a real thing.
Everybody hangs out in parking lots, whether you're from New York on the East Coast, California, the West Coast, and everywhere in the middle. Every teenager in America hangs out in a parking lot. I can assure you of that.
But here's the litmus test. Was it the most interesting thing to do in your area?
Yes, usually, no matter what. Because the kids are the most interesting part of a parking lot. Because we do dumb things.
I mean, maybe. But you're saying you're going into Manhattan. I feel like that's a little bit more interesting.
It is, but the parking, like, just hanging at the parking lot is always like the thing, you know.
Anyway, so yeah.
Okay. All right. What else you got?
All right. Celebrity lookalikes. Do you get compared to anybody? I don't know why I chose these topics.
Why would you bring this up now?
Oh.
Like, why would you bring this up now?
I actually, because I literally forgot.
Does anybody in the chat think I look like anybody? You could say it if you do. I get this all the time. I don't see it.
I actually, hold on, let's see.
I don't see it at all.
We hung out in a graveyard. Oh my gosh, that's terrifying. We used to hang out behind our local Friendlies. Oh, I love Friendlies.
Yeah, that's not bad. All right, so the one I get the most, really the only one I get is I get Elon Musk a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
I don't see it. I don't see it at all, actually. But we've actually gotten stopped on several occasions. I remember one time we had just had our first son. He was like, I don't know how old, like 9 months old or something. And we went on a trip, and he went up to go to the bathroom and left me and the baby at the table. And literally, like, 2 representatives from a big table near us came to our table, and they go, "Is that baby X?" Pointing at our first son. And I was like, "Excuse me?" And they go, "That's Elon Musk, right?" And they were dead serious. And I just looked at them and I'm like, "No. And I'm not Grimes, and this isn't X, and none of it. Like, what?" But then it kept happeing.
There was a real hole in that story. Like, were you Grimes in this scenario?
I don't know. Maybe they thought I was like a nanny or something. Or maybe they thought I was Grimes. I don't know. On like a modest day where my hair wasn't blue. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in any event, he gets Elon Musk quite often. And I got to tell you, I don't see it at all. I don't get it.
Yeah. So that one I get often. Maybe that's why people are throwing things at me. I don't know.
But then I feel like I don't get a celebrity lookalike. I get literally like doppelganger lookalikes everywhere. It's about once every other week where someone either comes up to me or like we get a DM or like somebody comments on something. "Hey, did you used to work at like the Indiana State Hospital? Did you go to the University of Rhode Island? Do you have a cousin who lives on the Panhandle?" Like it's unbelievable. People just think that. I just got one the other day. How do you pronounce it? The Dulles Airport? Dulles? The one in Texas? Dulles? Not Dallas. It's Dulles.
Okay.
So they have Dallas and Dulles. I'm not a world traveler, guys. That's not what you follow me for.
Never mind.
So it is Dulles. Okay, so anyway, we got a message from somebody saying that they ran up to somebody in the Dulles Airport, sure, like that's a thing, and was like, hey, are you Trisha? And they weren't.
Are you sure it was in Texas?
Why? Where else was it?
Dulles isn't in Texas.
Where is it?
It's in D.C.
Oh. You know what? Next show we could get out a map with no names on it, and we could have a lot of fun.
We'll have fun. I don't think anybody else will.
I do want to learn geography. I just haven't gotten around to it yet, guys. But anyway, it's not that I don't think everybody's really important and that their cultures aren't important. That's not... I just can't locate them on a map. I want to learn all about you. I want to get to know you. I want to know what kind of food you eat and, how you live your lives. But I can't locate it on a map. So anyway, evidently Dulles Airport is in D.C. And somebody thought that they saw me there, which they didn't. But I get asked that a lot, where it's like, it's not a celebrity lookalike. I think I have a very standard model face in America.
It's a very, very Americana face. Apple pie, hot dogs, and Trisha Fenimore.
All right, so regional cultural habits and sayings, celebrity lookalikes. Are you ready for the next?
No.
James, are you ready for the next topic of our interview?
No.
We'll get ready for it.
Let's go.
Unexpected facts about you. Tell us something, James, that we wouldn't expect. Something we don't know.
Something weird about me?
Something that'll leave us saying,
I don't know. What's weird about me?
How much time do you have?
This is my wife. This is the woman of my dreams.
I'm checking in the comments.
Aw,
thank you. I think we're blessed to have found each other, too.
I think she's blessed to have found me also. And me, her. Sometimes. Especially when she's miming.
Especially when I'm miming.
Yes, most of the time.
You have a lot of unexpected, in keeping with the celebrity theme, you have had a lot of interesting celebrity run-ins in the past, either in the city or out on Long Island or in your life. Do you care to open up about any of that?
Not really.
Do you care to open up about your previous employer? I feel like people might get a kick out of that.
Oh, my first job out of college? Is
yeah,
that what you're referring to?
That would be interesting.
My first job out of college, I worked at WWE. That's the World Wrestling Entertainment. That's always a fun party trick. People think that's kind of fun. That's where I used to work, and yeah. So that was always a good time.
And what did you do there, James? Tell us about it.
I worked in the television studio, and I personally trained the wrestlers. They saw this physique, and they were like, gotta have it.
You're like a 19-year-old. How old were you?
I was 23.
Oh, okay.
That's what I gotta look like. So what are you doing?
No, but what did you do there with the TV?
I worked in a television studio, so I did a little editing, I did a little producing, I did a little writing, I did a little bit of everything, which was cool.
So wait, when you say writing, are you trying to tell us that the storylines that we see play out in professional wrestling are not authentically, organically lived out, that they're scripted?
No, they're not scripted. It's real. Once you're in, you're in.
Yeah,
like
I was going to say, good job, man.
It's like the CIA. You're never not in the CIA.
You're just a dormant WWE
that's it,
operative right now.
Absolutely. You're a lifer.
I have an unexpected fact about you regarding WWE. And guys, I promise it's not a political show, but it's going to veer into, only because he was there and he edited the footage when Donald Trump was on WWE. He actually was the guy who was editing the footage.
So when you see all those clips of Donald Trump, like in the wrestling ring
and like bouncing off the
stupid stuff,
he edited that
and shaving Vince McMahon's head. That's when I was there. I did a lot of that editing, and
I find that interesting.
Yeah, it was fun. It was wild. I mean, it was very silly times, but it was also 10 years before he ran for president, well, almost. But
that's it.
It was 2007.
Okay. Yeah. So like 10 years.
A little less, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a really cool first job to have. It's actually an awesome place to work. I don't know how it is now because I know they've been bought, but it really was an awesome place to work. So I would recommend it to anybody if it's still similar to how it was when I was there.
I would say that my unexpected fact would be that I was a vegan for a year, way before it became a thing. So like, it was way before. It was back when like a thing of vegan ice cream was like $8 to $12. Like it was egregious. I was really malnourished because I didn't have a lot of money. But in any event, I was a vegan for a year. And it was very difficult, and I had some health complications. And then I tried to do all the things. I did all the things that the doctor. I ate very healthily. I wasn't like an Oreo vegan because I guess Oreos are vegan, or at least they were back then. I was eating like so many vegetables and like beans and rice and all this stuff, and I was still having all these health complications. And then I talked to a friend of mine in med school who gave me some advice on like supplements. I started taking those. The health complications continued. And finally, I just started eating chicken and all the health complications went away. And so my unexpected fact is that experience taught me that some people need to eat meat in order to live healthy lives.
Yeah.
And that we should just be grateful for what we have to eat, that we have food to eat instead of like moralizing it and doing all this crazy stuff. Because, yeah, I think there's a lot of obsession about stuff like that. And so, yeah, I like everything in moderation, guys. That's the moral of the night. That and miming. What would the mime for moderation be? I don't know. I need to go back to mime school.
Please do. Please do.
Can I get the outfit? Should I do the makeup? Can you guys imagine if I show up here next week with my makeup? And then we could have the map. It's quickly becoming a prop show. I swore I'd never be part of a prop show.
I'm exhausted.
Well, that's good. It's 9:30.
Yeah,
just in time for bed. I'll tire everybody out. What's everybody? Okay, you keep going with the top. You pick one out of this list. I'm going to read the Instagram comments.
Yeah, go ahead. Read some comments. But don't actually just stare at them and read them.
Well, okay. That person said that Trisha, that God brought James across my path on purpose, which is definitely true.
It's definitely true.
And then I think called me a stro man, which I'm not quite sure what that meant, if it was a typo. And I'm not judging. I just might not be familiar with that vernacular. My daughter was a vegan too. Hold on. They're going away too soon. Darn it. Hold on. Les.
Where are you going?
I'm going to read these comments. Yeah.
This is a show.
Okay, I'm sorry.
A little decorum, please. Act like you've been here before. Professional.
That's the last word. That and world traveler would be the terms that people least use to describe me.
All right, so why don't we do this? Why don't we talk about what, instead of these silly little things that we have here, which they're very silly, why don't we just...
James, tell us why you think they're silly. Open up to us. Let us know who's inside here. What makes you think they're silly?
I can't believe you got your voice back. I can't believe you got your voice back.
Praise be.
Why don't we talk about what people can expect in this show regularly?
Okay, by the way, I love this setup here. We can see which platform people are weighing in on. That's incredible. Technology, guys. It's just really cool. Okay, so what people can expect from the show, in addition to witty banter and sparkling conversation.
Speaking of which, we are streaming on multiple platforms right now. We're streaming on Instagram.
Tell us where we're streaming, James.
I'm okay.
No, go. You can do it.
We're
I
on
believe in you.
Instagram. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. So if you're on Facebook, please head over to YouTube and subscribe. It really helps us. The Fenimores is the name of our channel. If you're on the Fenimores on YouTube, head over to Instagram and Facebook and like or subscribe to Trisha's stuff. Or mine, by the way. Trisha has like a couple more followers than me. And we've got this bet that we made a couple of years ago. By 2026, who was going to have more followers, me or her.
That's not a real thing. This is the first I'm hearing of this mythical bet.
You know, I'm not doing so great, guys. So
You just started your account like 6 months ago, so I feel like...
Well, I wanted to give you. I wanted to give you an honest shot at beating me. I'm a very charismatic guy. I thought I really had this in the bag.
Don't counter out yet, guys.
This is not. It was like
the tortoise and the hare.
I love
Pride
you.
goeth. Pride goeth.
I really love you, and I wanted to make sure you had a real good shot, and I think you might still pull it off, but. Here I come.
But you should do what I do on the exercise bike. Give the double tap high five. He thinks I'm a lunatic on my workout bike, which hasn't been outruled. It hasn't been ruled out, guys. But when I want to...
No, it's been proven. You're a lunatic on the exercise bike.
So
let's be clear.
I think everybody needs an outlet, is what I'm trying to share tonight. And if you don't have one... for what I call the psycho energy. I don't know if you know this about me, but I have psycho energy sometimes.
They're kind of witnessing it tonight.
No, it's different. The psycho energy it's really intense, but it's not fun. And I think that people need an outlet for their psycho energy. And some people choose nefarious ones. And I used to be that person. But when you can find a healthy one, I think that that's great. And for me, the exercise bike is a healthy outlet for my existing psycho energy. Obviously, like prayer and stuff, but sometimes you got to do something physical and just get it out. And so sometimes when I'm on the exercise bike, I'll jump into like I do like the scenic routes.
She's talking about a Peloton, for those of you who
I was trying to dance around it. Nobody's paying us to advertise for them. And so why are we going to give it away for free?
It's important for them to know that there are other people involved in this activity.
Okay. So there are other people involved in the activity. So I sign into a scenic ride. I usually high five like a dozen people just to get the juices flowing and get everyone feeling good. Just to amp everybody's self-confidence or whatever, to encourage them to keep going on their ride. But then sometimes when I turn into a psycho and I'm about to pass somebody, or like if I have a goal, let's say I'm down here and there's somebody way up here on like the leaderboard, and I've set my goal for that ride to pass them and surpass them in their output, I'll go in and double tap them to give them a high five as like a warning, like I'm coming for you.
She's marking them. Like she's tagging them.
And then I'm not proud to admit, but sometimes if I'm not in a great place spiritually, if we keep going back and forth and I end after, sometimes I'll give them a high five, but it is out of, I respect the fact that we've gone back and forth, but I do understand that it could also feel like gloating.
Be clear. You give them a high five after you beat them.
You know what? I've given high fives to people who have then beat me out of this. There's just so few of them.
But you don't like it.
No, I don't like it.
You're not enjoying it while you do it.
No, because I'm a psycho.
Here's the other thing that she won't tell you, but I have to.
Here we go.
I can't. The first time I came home and she was on the exercise bike, I thought somebody broke in the house and I was going to have to hide a body because she murdered someone. The noises, the screaming.
No, I don't do that. Sometimes I yell to myself very similarly to like if a trainer were there. Sometimes you got to push yourself.
Oh, you're pushing something. It sounded like I was literally going to have to go to a plot of land in New Jersey because this is back in New York. In some wooded
Even now
area,
in New Jersey.
yeah, in
That's
some
how
wooded
bad
area,
it got.
dig a hole, Goodfellas style, and lose some poor UPS driver that did something wrong to your Amazon packages.
Well, crisis averted because you just married a psycho.
Yeah.
So, but I have a healthy outlet now for my psycho
It was just
energy.
some poor schlub you were trying to catch on the Peloton.
Yeah. All right, how did that even get brought up?
Well, this is what you could expect on these shows. It's going to be talking about a lot of antics that we go through in our day-to-day lives and fun stuff. Current events, but not politics.
No, it's not going to be a politics. Yeah, there's no celebrity gossip. Short of like little, but not celebrity gossip or politics. You know, like what you've seen here tonight, like anecdotal things that just spring to mind.
Yeah. So we're not gonna dive too into the salacious details of people's lives, or salacious details of probably my life, because I have to tell you about.
And you better respect that, because if you don't retaliate, you will be rewarded. I really just wanted to get that in there.
I just feel like I'm in a threatened, heightened state of just attack at all times now. I'm
gonna like use the last of the bread and then text you like the empty bread bag and be like, if you don't retaliate, you will be rewarded.
This is a retaliatory tariff. For the last
then you
cupcake.
Like eat the last muffin and like. All right, it's not a political show, guys. Stay focused.
But yeah, so this is what you can come to expect. It's going to be Wednesday nights, 8:45 normally. We had some technical difficulties being our first show.
Yep.
But we worked out the kinks, so going forward it won't be as late as it was this time.
And we appreciate you guys tuning in for our maiden voyage here. I mean, we did like a test run there, but there was no formality to that. Like there was no fun graphics or anything. Oh, by the way, we should probably shout out that the website that Facebook and YouTube, and are we on Rumble or not yet?
Thank you. Yeah, Rumble's live.
Oh, you didn't mention that earlier. Hey, Rumble. Sorry that.
I don't know if anybody's actually watching on Rumble. I hope so.
In general, not just us. No. Anyway, if you're seeing the graphic, Instagram, you guys don't see it, but it says theheartposturecompany.com. Don't go there, which is going to make people go there if you're like me, but you're not going to see anything yet because I was supposed to forward the domain to a different website and I didn't. So
unbelievable.
I am human after all. So
unbelievable. And for those of you who know, you might know these logos are Heart Posture Company that you do see is connected to the Heart Posture Collective, which is our amazing community of people that have come together to help.
HPC members, give a shout out if you're here. We'd love to see you in the comments.
Yeah, they're awesome. It's a great group of people, and
we go live over there quite a bit.
Yeah,
a lot of structured calls, a lot of impromptu calls, stuff like that. But you guys can learn more about that next enrollment period. But
yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that as we go. They're kind of the sponsor of the show, we'll get into it a little bit
Somebody
more.
Sent a request to join live. This is what blows my mind. When I used to go live all the time, this is what used to happen. And I'm not disparaging anybody here, but there are people on Instagram and presumably everywhere else that request to join via video. And I got to tell you, I'm a lunatic, but I'm not crazy enough to just approve anybody to come in on a video to the live. Like, this is the internet, guys. We're not approving people to join the live impromptu. I don't even know what I'm going to say. I sure don't know what you're going to say. Could turn into a real mess.
See, I disagree. I think maybe we do a special episode where we're just going to say, hey, this is going to be it, guys. We're just going to invite anybody in.
It's like a chat roulette.
Yes.
We'll get shut down in literally 5 minutes.
Chat roulette would be a great episode to talk about. The insanity that went on.
Genesis member, HPC. Hey.
Yeah, all right.
Samantha. Kelly. I can't.
But yeah,
I'm losing my voice.
If anybody's interested, definitely stay tuned. We'll have
or shoot him a DM.
Yeah, you can always shoot me a DM.
And I'm sorry that I had to put up an away message on my DMs, guys. I do still read some of them, but I just can't get to all of them, and I need to let people know that I'm not ignoring them. That there's literally just the quantity is unsustainable.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Chuck wants us to vet any guests. Probably a smart move. Probably a smart move.
You mean we shouldn't trust strangers on the internet?
Smart man. Must work for the FBI.
That's a CIA guy.
Yeah.
Once you're in, and you know that you shouldn't trust people to join the lives.
If anybody does have topics they would like to hear discussed, you could DM me on Facebook, or you can DM me on Instagram, or comment. We'd be happy to take a look. The comments will be a little bit harder to decipher because there's been so many in the chat. But DMing would be a great way to try to get some topics discussed or answer messages and emails.
Sorry, I just interrupted you.
Yeah, I'm used to it. That's why I like the miming thing was nice this morning, honestly. I got to finish sentences. I got to finish complete thoughts.
It was a way to ease into the day.
It was a really nice morning.
A nice, slow, quiet morning. If two words have ever been used to describe me more or less than world traveler, and what was the other one? It's slow and quiet.
Yeah.
Well, cheers. This was amazing.
Yeah.
What a great show, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much for
What a
joining
delight.
us. And next week, 8:45 p.m., same time, same spot. A little earlier. We won't be so late next time, we promise.
We'll see.
We'll see you there. Thank you so much
Should
for
we do
joining
like a fun
us.
sign off? Do we have anything? Like a gesture? What is this? Did I just do something I didn't know?
Probably.
I didn't mean it. Whatever I just did, if it's something, I didn't mean it. I don't know what it is. I just do things. Thanks for tuning in, guys. This was fun. Should I go up to the camera now?
Good night and God bless.
Good night.